whack ass, crazy ass movie that, of course, of all people, my buddy selects. This is weird.
So weird.
So strange. Hello, everyone. We don't have a lot of fanfare. I don't know if she's got an intro for this. This movie was weird. No intro?
No intro.
Then I got it. Welcome, everybody, to Sako on the Moon's movie reviews. This is the B side, if you will, to the Sako on the Moon horror podcast. Last Friday, we had the, for lack of a better term, founder and executive producer of Howard Hills Entertainment, Jayson William Allen. He was on our show, and he suggested Bubba the Redneck Werewolf. I didn't even feel right saying that. You know, I realized that that was the first time me saying that out loud. Didn't like it. And so we are here, of course, to review said movie. I always suggest you go back and watch the episode we had the guest on. It actually was a pretty good episode. A lot of fun. It was special to me, of course, because obviously I'm a part of Howard Hills, and you know, these projects I was there for. I was there filming for the documentary. I was there filming for Cribs. I was there filming for screenshots. We have a bunch of projects in the future, so hopefully when we get those out there, not only will I have the opportunity to talk about them here, but you all who love us oh so much, we'll watch them and hopefully enjoy them. If not, give us the honest criticism, because that's what independents need. We need honest criticism. I almost dropped my candy. I promise it's not drugs. So today we will be reviewing The Redneck Werewolf. Ooh, the second time didn't feel any better than the first. And of course, we have our wonderful 4-star judging system based on the categories of theme, production, writing, and characterization. You guys know about the prompts that gets the conversations going, so let's go ahead and start doing that now. How about we start off with theme? Sako, the fuck was the theme of this movie?
Hold on. I put the word in my notes.
That's accurate.
They attempted comedy horror for the tone and the mood.
And I would say they achieved it. Listen, this is not your Oscar-winning this movie. We just had the Golden Globes last weekend. This movie is not going to get the Golden Globe.
No.
Like, you could take a globe from an abandoned school, spray paint it gold. It still would not be the award that this movie would win. However, this fits in that Lavalantula, Sharknado, Velocipaster category of what the fuck.
Cownado. Cownado had to have been another one of their projects because the poster was in his room.
Yeah. Sharks of the Corn. I can't. Sharks of the Corn. The Farm. There's a slew of movies that are not Oscar-winning
to be
movies.
Good.
They're not meant to be good. They are meant to be fun. And sometimes in filmmaking, you're just trying to put a movie out that's fun. Screenshots isn't going to get an award like an Oscar or a Golden Globe. It was still a fun-ass time doing it, figuring out how to do the effects. So there are some positives about this movie. I can't wait to get into production. But for the theme and tone and all that good shit, it was fun. And I think you have to approach this movie like this movie was meant to be fun. There's a lot of shit
I guess I have these banners.
It helps.
Yeah, it helps. I have some trivia. It's only 2 things.
Go with it.
Okay, cool. Biker Bob wore the Queensryche logo around his neck.
Uh-huh.
So apparently that's a thing. Mitch Hyman is the creator and writer of the movie and the comic. It's actually a long-running comic. And he also played the devil. He was a self-insert.
I knew there had to be something about a guy named Mitch. Because there was a joke about who names their kid Mitch.
Exactly.
So I didn't know who Mitch was, but I knew Mitch had to be somebody important. I like little shit like that.
Mitch was the devil, yes. It should not get a star for the theme. I say that because I avoid being a redneck as much as I can. I did understand the humor, but I didn't want to.
Being from the glorious Commonwealth of Kentucky, I've spent my fair share of time in redneck bars. Not much time.
Me too.
I didn't stay long.
In Virginia.
But I've been there. So yeah, I get all the humor. I feel like this is more of a writing critique. I feel that all of the jokes and the direction of the story truly
it was aimed at rednecks.
It reflected what would probably happen if this happened in the sticks. Just because really, who's going to be rushing out there to go, one, you're going to lose all the cool shit you just got, and you're doing it for a bunch of folks that you don't know and never liked you. You're not in a hurry. I wouldn't be in a hurry. But if the category was tone, I'd argue for the star. The intended tone is to be funny. It was funny. It was kind of ridiculous. It's not. The category is theme. And tone is just one of the parts of theme.
Right.
I forgot what the rest of it is.
We couldn't, the message, the tone, or the mood, and the trivia, right? So I can't.
Yeah, there really wasn't a message. I mean, I guess you could argue that the overall
don't sell your soul to the devil. Like, I mean,
yeah, but he
come
wins
on.
when he wins when he does. Everything he wants, he gets out of it when he sells his soul to the devil. It's everybody else that's screwed up. He didn't get exactly what he asked for, minus the fact that he got exactly what he asked for. Everybody else fucked up.
And he put his contract in his pocket.
Yeah. So fast forward for the writing part. Normally we get into the whole story thing. Let me give you some context. The gist of this movie is a man named Bubba. He's kind of like the town idiot. The town of Broken Taint in Cracker County. Don't shoot the black man for saying that.
No,
that's just what it's called. That's in the movie. So he's basically the joke of Cracker County, and he lost his girl to dangerous Daryl. Dwight. There you go. I know some other weird name. Who gives their kids D names anymore? It's weird. It's like naming your kid Ashley. Who names their kid Ashley anymore? Shout out to my friend Ashley. and Ashley. I know a lot of
Yeah.
Ashleys. That was the joke there, that I know a lot of Ashleys. Moving on. He meets the devil one night, and the devil's like, "Hey, what would you like? What would you could get anything you want. What would you want?" He's basically like, "I want to be big and strong and tough so I can get my girl back." He's like, "All right, cool. Boom, you're a werewolf now." He wakes up and he's a werewolf. So he's like, "I'm big, I'm strong, I'm tough. I'm also a werewolf." All right, fuck it. Yeah. So he's just cool with it.
He's just cool with it.
And no one else seems to care. No one else in this town who's seen it before is like, "Hi, Bubba." It's like, "You don't see anything different about me?" It's like, "Did you clean your hat?" "Your hat does look a little bit cleaner than normal. You don't smell like shit anymore." That's a thing. Because there was this whole joke about him putting his head in shit. I'm not kidding. That's how this movie opens. It opens. He works in like
a dog kennel.
Barkham Asylum. And he lays his head in a pile of dog shit, which is apparently a thing he does often. Whatever.
Apparently.
Anyhow, moving forward, he has to, he wants to fight Dangerous Dwight to get his girlfriend back from like 10 years ago, but whatever. All the while, the devil is going around town and causing havoc, causing chaos, and buying, having people sell their souls to him. And they're all selling their souls to him. This movie is kind of raunchy.
A little bit.
So just be forewarned, this is probably not one to sit down with your 8-year-old. Maybe your 14-year-old. Depends on your. That's on y'all.
So trigger warning. Trigger warning. There is vomiting and bodily fluids.
He eats a dude.
Yeah.
Nonetheless, everybody else is upset because they got screwed over in their deals with the devil, and they're mad at Bubba
because he brought the devil to begin with.
They say it was his desperation that brought the devil there in the first place, but he's like, even Bubba's like, "But you guys signed your souls away. Like, that's on y'all."
Yeah.
The hell's that got to do with me? He's like, "You were the first. You can stop him." He's like, fuck it, fine. All right,
fuck
cool.
It, fine.
And then he goes after the devil to try to defeat him.
Todd Who. Yeah.
Well, he has to find Todd Who. Not Doctor Who. He's not a doctor, I promise. Todd Who, in order to find the devil. He didn't. That was just a story beat. It was it was an excuse to do a Who's on First level joke.
Yep.
So that's all it was.
That's all it was.
Someone wanted to put that in the script, and so they did. And as a screenwriter, I get it. Those are all writing points, but in order to make this part make sense, like there is no message. You can even try to say that the message is don't sell your soul to the devil, but Bubba got everything he wanted for doing so. So I can't say that's the message. Everybody else fucked up. It's kind of like those movies. It's kind of like Wishmaster, where you make a wish that's clean and clear, and the djinn is just like, "Ha ha,
no,
I'm gonna screw this over." Or
Monkey's Paw. Yeah.
Monkey's Paw. There's another Wish movie where the girl gets like the box. I forgot what the name of the movie is. But usually this is typical wish granting puns.
Yeah.
A guy wants a third hand, don't ask why. And the devil puts it on his head, which is really funny because it's not even his head, it's his hat.
He's the chef.
Like the hat ends here, and the head ends here, and the hat's up here, and the hand is here. It's on the hat, dude. Like you could, again, it's not supposed to make sense. These are not even criticisms. These are probably all done intentionally.
Mm-hmm.
This was you could tell it was so fucked up that this was the plan. Like you couldn't have fucked it up like this on purpose. It would have had to be intentional.
Yeah.
So it is what it is. Do I agree with you about not getting a point for yeah. Save the points for the next category because I'm going to talk about
save the point.
Yeah, so there's no point for theme. Let's go ahead and jump to production.
Production.
Because here we discuss things like art direction, makeup, props, cinematography. Let's talk about special effects real quick.
I'd love to hear your comments on this one.
We have better effects for this podcast. We have no effects for this podcast. But here's the kicker. Here's the thing. If it's taking an independent sort of goofy, cheap appearance type of vibe, if that's what they're clearly going for, because it was consistent throughout the entire movie, at least it was consistent throughout the entire movie. Whatever goofy, silly effects package that they were using,
straight to the ending credits.
They from beginning to end,
they were
consistent. So that's actually a point in my book because you're not trying to do this kind of movie with this random standout effect over here, or I want to make the blood look like this. So only in this isolated situation does the effect look strange. If I'm going to judge this objectively, I have to give it credit for picking a goofy theme, regardless of why they did it. Maybe it's because it was cheaper. Actually, you know, you mentioned that because it's a comic book, all those weird effects make perfect sense.
Yeah.
It's kind of like going back and seeing something like Dick Tracy,
where they made all kinds of references to comic books throughout the movie, and like,
so you know what, I have to give it props for that because that is, if that's the look you're going for because it was a comic book, you nailed it. You fucking nailed it. I'm gonna get to, so there's the goofy effects for all the other people who sold their soul, but ignoring them, because mind you, if it's a comedy, they're supposed to look ridiculous, and they achieve that. But you're looking at the two main characters here, the makeup work on those two characters, the werewolf and the devil. The makeup on the devil is some of the best makeup work I've ever seen.
Someone had an airbrush and some vinyl.
Someone did the damn thing is what they did. I wish
the artist had some fun. Like, you could tell the artist had fun.
Take a moment, open another browser, right? I want you to open another browser right now. And I want you to look up, saying it a third time, like, I'll make anything feel better, any better. Bubba the Redneck Werewolf, the devil. I want you to see who the devil in this movie. The devil in this movie, the makeup is so good. I can tell you, watching makeup artists when we were working on that documentary for Malice Manor, watching makeup artists do the thing on a person, what was done here. That's the face you're going to make.
On YouTube, they show the devil makeup process.
I've not seen this video, but I'm going to watch it after we do the show.
Okay.
It was so well done. So well done. Like, if you are going to judge a movie on its story, that's the next category. But if you want to judge a movie solely on the way those two main characters' makeups were done, mind you, once Bubba turned into the werewolf, he was the werewolf the entire time. There was no transformation back. He just was a wolf man.
Yeah.
Right? So we look at werewolf and translate it. Were comes from like Old English, which is just a word to just mean man. So a werewolf, by definition, if you break it down, is just a wolf man. And so he didn't like wait till the full moon and come back and was human Bubba. He was just a wolf man. And he stayed the Wolfman. So you're going to put the priority on the devil and the Wolfman character. They put that priority in. That's where whatever budget they had went there.
Yeah.
Because normally with a with a silicone mask, if you look close at the mouth, you're going to see the separation of the mask and the actor. None of that.
None of that.
None of that. I looked because there's some close-ups.
I looked.
There's close-ups of the mouth. And as someone who's going to pay attention to those things, who knows what to look for, like me and Sako would, we look specifically. And I'll tell you, there is no chance in hell that a director and a cinematographer are going to sit there and put that camera in that mouth if it's going to look bad. The fact that close-ups existed proved that they knew what they were doing. They had confidence in what they were doing.
Rubbing Two Nickels was
production company.
And you.
Also,
so they teamed up.
And you. Those are the names of it. The opening was fun.
I guess.
It's goofy. It's supposed to be goofy. The devil
is. It was goofy.
But let me tell you, like, the camera work in its own right was pretty good. The sort of color grade was, I would call it off, but at the same time, hey. But at the same time, again, we're going for a certain particular theme here. I can't say that's not intentional.
Yeah.
And it makes sense given the movie, given the theme. So, all that said, I mean, the devil's makeup alone is probably going to give it a star in my book, if I'm being completely honest and fair. If I critique and give compliment as easily as I critique and give judgment, the devil's makeup alone would give it a star for production. Alone. It's damn good makeup.
It's damn good makeup.
How do you feel about production? Because you seem hesitant.
Well, the art direction was very campy and brightly lit, so the werewolf makeup was visible. Because it was so dark.
So dark hair, dark brown, darker than me.
Yeah. It was. Yeah, someone had an airbrush and some vinyl and just went to town on Mitch. He called in some favors, I think, is what happened.
And if he did, those are some damn good favors to have called. Damn good favors. How judge you?
I'm gonna have to say give it a star for the makeup that they did do.
It was so good. I think everything else fit a theme. So then your question has to be whether or not they nailed the theme. Like, not theme like the last category, but a theme like, this is what we're going for. Did we do it? Did it work? And for what kind of movie it was, I think it did. Also, the inclusion of all those other little weird props, like the magazine with the variant brand names. You could tell this is a bunch of goofy people who were just trying to make a goofy ass movie. I think the woman
the skunk's ass malt liquor.
And the advertising for ass body spray on the back of the magazine that the woman was reading in the kennel. Hog on Hog, I think, was the name of the magazine. I think Bubba had a poster in his house, Babes and Cows.
Cownado.
Yeah, Cownado on the door. He also had like a poster that was like Babes and Cows. Mind you, to be in the background of this movie, someone had to design those things somewhere, right? even if it was just in the computer, but to design them and put, that's just funny. That's how you know what direction
so good.
that's how you know what tone we're going for.
Yeah.
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 Hold on, I'm
Yeah. You want to get into writing?
actually, I'm thinking back to theme. If I'm being honest, if I'm changing my mindset to what they are going for, I'm still trying to figure out if they're going for all this goofy shit and they hit the mark for all this goofy shit, should I dock them for it? I don't think I should. I'm not going to ask you to change your vote, which if you don't change your vote, it's a half star for theme instead of no star. I just talked myself into that extra half star. Because a yes/no vote from the two of us is a half star. So if you don't change your vote, it's a half star for theme.
I'm not changing my vote, so it's a half star.
I feel like my conversations recently with Eva and Dan have made me reevaluate how I judge a movie sometimes. But seriously, like, if we are looking at what they're going for, there is no message to this movie. Ultimately, there's no backdrop. But if we're looking at mood and tone as being comedic, comic bookish, if they're aiming for that and that's the mark that I think they hit, it'd be unfair for me to not. So we're looking at a half star for theme and a star for production. I think we can settle on that.
Yeah.
And now the writing.
And now the writing, which involves dialogue, writing, and dialogue, plot, and pacing.
Okay. So I've already given a rundown of this movie, but here's a couple of things that we do as we start getting towards the end. We know what the mission is, right? The ultimate mission at this point is that Bubba needs to find the devil so that he can get the contracts back and destroy the contracts, thus freeing the other cursed people from their curses. As he leaves to go on his hero's journey, he is distracted. I think he goes home and gets drunk and falls asleep. He has to be stopped a couple of times. Like, hey, man, aren't you supposed to be looking for the devil instead of doing, like, he goes fishing at some point. He does a bunch of other shit in the meantime. And people have to be like, yo, dog, aren't you got people you said you were saving. You can go do that, right? He's like, all right, yeah, you're right. All right, okay. Give me a second. I'm gonna just, yeah, okay, yeah, I'll go. And this, it feels runtime, but I think it's also, I don't know how I feel about it. It drags out the end. I don't know how I feel about it. Because is it funny? Yeah, mind you, these are redneck jokes. This is not
the redneck jokes. Yeah,
This is not a comedy this is not for everyone. Not everyone's going to get it. If you ain't never spent time with hillbilly folk, then you're going to miss a lot.
Yeah.
If you have to sit back and like, why does he never leave the bar? Why does the bartender act like that? Why are these people all gathered in the one little bar? You have never spent your time in a small town. Sometimes I've only realized small towns existed because I somehow found myself in a bar there. When you hang out with like the local music scene and you're going to wherever your buddy's band is playing, your buddy's band is going to be playing whoever's bar is willing to give them a stage to play. And if you're going to go support them, you're going out to that bar. That's what's happening.
Mm-hmm.
Does the bar scene make sense? It really does.
It really does.
Makes perfect sense. The dialogue is stereotypical, but also not wrong.
It's very much redneck humor.
It's redneck humor. It's that same sort of.
So very redneck.
It's where someone says something, it reminds someone. Character A says a thing, right? Character B responds appropriately to character A. Then character C shows up and says something like a pun, like a play on the words. And then character B jumps back in and shifts the conversation based on what the other statement was from character C.
Mm-hmm.
And then those two are going back and forth. And character A has to jump back in like, hey, weren't we talking? Aren't we supposed to be talking about XYZ? Character D shows up and says, no, I think we were talking about this other subject. And it's a weird back and forth. You eventually make yourself back to point A and you're fine. It's a roundabout way of getting there.
Yeah. Yeah. And there are cameos of people that obviously is a friend of the director, of the writer.
There was a lot of friends there. You could tell this movie, this is an indie set. Let me tell you something. One of the things that Jayson was talking about in the episode from last Friday, if you guys didn't see it, you absolutely should. Make sure you like and subscribe to the channel so you can always catch the episodes as we have them. But one of the things that Jayson had mentioned is that we try to make our films as much about with our community as possible. Like we had a conversation about writing communities and how important it was to have writing communities in the last few episodes.
Yeah.
So a lot of our movies include a bunch of Imaginarium people.
Yep.
Right. The team at Hallowed Hills, we all participated in Imaginarium. The director is someone we met from Imaginarium. The cop is someone from Imaginarium. The character this is in Companion.
Companion, yeah.
So one of the last movies we did, the cop was from Imaginarium. The character of Kramer was a buddy of the director's. He was in. The owner, the store owner, Jayson, he really does own that shop. His name really is Jayson. Jayson and Roy went by their real names. It's really Jayson and Roy. Roy's a buddy of Jayson and Jayson's. That was fun on set. That was fun. Yeah, it's a bunch of buddies and friends that do things. Our main character, Nancy, that's Natalie. She's from Imaginarium. So we try to keep our friends and our buddies in the movies in the mix because it's like, one, you need bodies on set. Sometimes, bless you. Sometimes you need bodies on set, and who else but your friends when you're doing independent shit? Promise to feed them, and they'll usually help you out with something. Our next project, we're filling it up again. Some of the same characters, some of our buddies and friends. It's what we do. So I can promise you, most of the staff of this movie, most of the characters in this movie, buddies of the director, buddies of the writer. Somebody owns that bar space and they're like, hey, I'll do this in the movie if you just, use your bar. You can use my bar, you put me in the movie. Shit like that.
Yeah.
And when you're an independent filmmaker, that's gold. Gold. It's like, we can use your space for free if we do what? Buy dinner here? Okay. Put you in the movie? Okay. You want to be executive producer in the credits? Okay. Some people will give you a full space for free for a day for an executive producer credit. Sako, you talked about the barter system 1,000 times on our show.
Yeah.
Particularly for the independent who needs to get work done. It's like, hey, if you design my cover, I'll format your book, shit like that. Or I'll do editing for you if you edit for me or whatever the situation is. Or whatever you need and I need, you got, let's work a system out and let's do the things. That's worth more than money. when you're working independent, you're doing independent shit. Being able to provide a service or help someone out on set with something priceless. So I guarantee you, these are a bunch of buddies. Driven a little bit further away from writing than I intended, but I babble. Who knew? Everyone who watches this show, they all knew. With the dialogue, I feel like some of it was appropriate, some of it carried on too long.
Yeah. Especially the latter half. The latter half of the movie,
scenes were elongated.
The who's on first joke was way too long.
It was, and it wasn't as who's on first is a very classic routine, and a lot of movies like to do some kind of variation or play with it.
And they did.
They did. I didn't really like it, for being fair.
Nope.
And there was never the reason. So in the end, the guy was looking for like Todd Who, the name Todd Who, and the guy who the werewolf was talking to was Todd Who. You realize this about halfway through the joke, and then they at the end they zoom into like a name badge that he's all of a sudden wearing, because they had to put it there for the sake of the pun. Do I get it? Yeah. Did I like it? No. Some scenes, the elongated conversations work. They did feel hillbilly natural. If that's a thing, I feel like it's the kind of off the wall weird connection of things that I probably just did somewhere in this episode. So it is an accurate way of depicting conversation. Did it work all the time? No, it didn't, because part of it felt forced. Yeah. And I know for a lot of screenwriters and a lot of just novelists, they have a hard time with dialogue, including myself, when it comes to making characters sound different and having the conversation feel natural. And I think that is one of the issues that we had here. Some of the characters just said dumb shit for the sake of saying dumb shit, but it's a comedy, so okay. I can let some of it go. Some of it I couldn't. Nothing specific.
Clovis.
Cletus?
No, Clovis. The
drunk?
The dumb.
The dumb cousin?
The dumb cousin, yeah.
Yeah.
That character, I felt like
the movie would have been great without that character. I understood
why he was there, but
because all your redneck movies have to have some kind of dumb redneck character. This was your dumb redneck character, but you already had Bubba as a dumb redneck character. You didn't need extra dumber. You didn't need the dumber redneck character.
Exactly.
You had Bubba, and Bubba was doing his thing. But then Bubba stopped being the dumbass character at some point. He just seemed sad.
Okay. So pacing wise, I think it moved very fast in the first half.
To get to that point, to that midpoint, they rushed. Maybe not quite rushed, but they went quickly.
Then
the pacing wasn't consistent because a lot of the extra dialogue and the comedy scenes came into a point where we're trying to get from point A to B to C. The mission was to find Todd Who, like from where we are at the bar, find Todd Who, have him lead you to the devil. That was the mission. So the point A, point B, point C. We made it from point A to point B and had to go back to point A to reset the mission. And that whole that whole Find Todd Who thing was part of the mission for the sake of that joke. And while I give the writers credit for putting all that effort into the bit, I appreciate a good bit. It slowed down the pacing in the back half of the movie to a point where it was noticeable. The pacing in itself was off because of that. So after a while, you're like, okay, we're going next beat. Okay, next beat. Okay, next beat. Okay, next beat. Then it's just like, all right, we're gonna fuck around for about 15 minutes here. We're gonna fuck around for a little while, and we're gonna make it back. We're gonna get back on track, but we're gonna fuck around for a little bit. Which again,
the fun and games part of Save the Cat was particularly long.
It was. Everyone should get this book. No sponsorship, but everyone should get this book.
There is a Save the Cat for writers as well.
Mm-hmm.
For Save the Cat writes a novel. Save the Cat writes horror. Oh.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. Save the Cat writes a novel. Yeah.
Again, non-sponsored, but if Nash or Snyder wants to show up on the show, feel free. Shout out to them, tag them in the comments if you want to. The beauty of these books, at minimum, this one, particularly for screenwriters, is you understand the structure of things. I would also suggest visiting their website because they take movies you've already seen, movies you already
and apply
like,
it.
And they apply the beats, and they show you the beats as they apply to the movies you've already seen. So then you get to be like, oh, that's why that scene took place. Oh, that's why they did that. Oh, that's why that happened. And movie watching changes for you because you'll start to hear theme statements right off the bat. You're like, ooh, that line, theme statement. Okay, cool. But then you have these little offshoot books like these, which are great reference books. At the very, 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 very least, reference books.
Yeah.
And these other two are out because I'm actively writing with them. Point being here, you get to see where these scenes were, like what their purpose was, and to do it is fine, but to do it in such a way that it throws off your pacing and it just feels like you just fucked around in your movie. It doesn't feel like part of the movie. It just feels like you fucked around for a bit.
Yeah.
Which if you're going to fuck around for a bit, do it. I don't give a shit. It's your movie. I'm sure there's scenes that I fucked around for in mine just because I like the joke. There are. I have a script out that's it's got like a Scooby-Doo scene where people are running back and forth for shit. I have no idea how we're going to pull it off when we actually film it, but it's in there. Fuck them. So yeah, go for the bit. That's fine. But
go for the bit.
The bit's got to make sense to the story if you're going to have somebody judge your story. That's what we're doing in the writing section. And while the bit was still funny enough, it wasn't funny enough to ignore the impact on pacing. So I'm torn. I'm torn on how to judge this one.
So I have the blurb, so people actually know what this movie
We told them earlier.
What did I? Cracker County is under attack, and lovesick dog catcher Bubba Blanche has been transformed into a ferocious cigar-smoking werewolf just in time to save the day. But first, he's got to conquer a beer or two, and maybe a plate of chicken wings.
Or 700 wings.
Bubba the Redneck Werewolf is based on Mitch Hyman's long-running comic book series of the same name.
Which, to be
So
honest with you, I'm not gonna lie. I
Thank you.
would pick up a couple of issues of this. I'd pick up a couple of issues. I'd like to see what
The
kind of
art is the art is a trip.
is it.
It's a trip.
Look it up.
Yeah. They specialize in werewolves, not people. The artist. And you get like screen caps of the comic book in the ending credits.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see if we can get this to show up.
Yep.
That's the comic book for you, people. Yeah,
Yep.
auto adjusting for my brightness. Forgive me. All right, you know what? I'm not even mad. I'm not even mad.
No.
Yeah, that
It's
one
not
was
going to
pretty cool.
stop you from reading it, right? I mean,
You guys cannot tell how good this is actually pretty good.
the werewolf fights and stuff, like they were well illustrated.
This shit's wild. This is just wild. I might actually have to pick up a couple of these just for the shits and gigs.
Good luck.
I'll look into it. I'll figure it out.
I'm getting the impression that I might be able to track down Mitch Hyman and maybe have him on the show.
I don't even know how I feel about that. No, please do. Call him up. Call him up. Figure it all out.
Okay. However, the writing, I mean, I can't in good conscience give them a star for the pacing.
The pacing stands out. The dialogue is sometimes too dumb.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they're going for a theme though. Here's where my back and forth is. All right, because I'm kind of with you. I think I've taken stars away from movies for less. On one end, this is a comedy, right? So shit's supposed to be weird and goofy and funny and whatever. And whether a joke lands or not, some themes are just not going to be universal themes. Redneck comedy is not one of those universal themes, right? We're not going to all find redneck humor funny. Honestly, if you've never spent time in a small town like that or met people who are just like one of those characters, if you've never met them and talked to them, it's not going to hit.
Or watched a redneck tour of like Jeff Foxworthy and the cable guy.
If you've never laughed at Jeff Foxworthy, not Larry the Cable Guy, specifically Jeff Foxworthy. Mm-hmm. If you've never laughed at a series of "You Might Be a Redneck" jokes, you're not going to enjoy this movie as well. I'll tell you one time. This is just a complete aside. I remember listening to a Jeff Foxworthy CD in the car, and I almost wrecked the car because of how fucking funny the one bit was. It was a side effects may include bit. Where if you look up like Jeff Foxworthy side effects may include, and he starts rattling off a whole bunch of weird ass shit. That's the bit that almost got me to wreck my car. Luckily, I was coming to a stop to make a left-hand turn, and I was able to stop and get to my destination. It was
safely.
It was fucking funny though, because you get it. You meet these people, and it's funny because it's like, ha, that's Jerry.
Yeah.
So while part of it doesn't hit universally, you do know that one guy who's kind of just like it. So the dialogue starts to make sense, but even when it starts to make sense, it was like too much. It was like you really took the bit a couple steps too far. Take it from a guy who takes it a bit really far because I just have to entertain myself. So I'm back and forth. The plot was fine. Ultimately, is this guy's possessed by, it sells his soul to the devil, and now the devil's affected the town. He's got to defeat the devil. Get it? That's fine. How we got there is kind of fucked. Even the ending, he didn't even do the shit.
Yeah.
The return character, like all-knowing character, like shows up and actually does it. And then Bubba gets the credit for it. Like, okay. Like, that's not even... Like, he didn't even save the day in the end.
Yeah.
I'm torn. I don't know how I feel about it.
I can't in good conscience give it a star.
What holds you back from giving it a star? Maybe I just need to like reevaluate my thought.
That pacing, man.
Pacing as it. I think
it drags it down so far.
It kind of does. Because I was watching it actually just some odd hours ago, and it is a point where the movie drags, and it just drags because we go into doing the bit versus the story. And I get that he's because it comes across a certain way, and maybe this is where the hang up is. I get doing the bit that maybe he's slow to defeat the devil because he realizes that if he does, yes, anal seepage is the term, Amanda. Yes, that's the one we started talking about, anal seepage. Didn't think I was going to say that one today. Story of my life. You could tell that there's a point, and I think what they're trying to convey is that Bubba doesn't want to fight the devil. Because Bubba is now at an advantage because of his deal with the devil. And if he defeats the devil, he's going to lose his advantage. He's going to lose everything that he actually wanted, which was basically the girlfriend. He wanted his girlfriend back. He got his girlfriend back. And he's afraid that if he goes back to normal, he's going to lose everything he fought for.
She's like, no, I wasn't going to type it. No.
I get it. Now I'm gonna have my phone hear me say anal seepage, and it's gonna give me like a medication or something in my search engine ads or some shit.
Or some
because the phone's listening. It always is. Anyway,
so am I giving it a half a star?
I don't know. Because again, I have those same issues with the overall structure of the writing. And I'm trying to find excuses for it. And my excuses aren't holding up as well as I wanted them to. No for now.
Okay.
No for now.
I'll put 0. And then we'll move along to characterization, where we talk about casting, consistency, or evolution, and POV. Bobby Joe was piping hot, so good casting there.
Honestly, the bartender was hotter in my opinion.
Yeah, well,
that's a matter. That's a subjective thing. Attractiveness in general is a subjective thing.
It is.
You could see where the attraction for honestly, the nun was hotter.
Yes.
I didn't think I was going to say today.
The cursed nun. Yeah.
Yeah. This show leads me to say all kinds of weird shit. I didn't have that on my bingo card this year. But no, like Bobby Joe is like third behind the bartender and the hot nurse, or none.
None.
Lord forgive me. Wasn't a real nun. Wasn't a real nun. It's fine. It's fine. If he forgives the people for Sister Act, he'll forgive me. Fine. It's fine. The casting was generally fine. These felt like people you would see in a small redneck town. Would they all be friends? They don't have to be. They're all in the same town together. And that's where the friendship lies. It's a community thing. These are members of these are the community people. These are your peoples, whether you like them or not. And you have a common struggle, you have a common goal, a common life situation in most cases. So everyone kind of relates. The in small towns, most of the time, everybody's kind of on the same page.
Sometimes.
Yeah, usually the smaller the town in a place like Broken Taint in Cracker County, the words I've said in the last hour, you feel like everybody is generally on the same level from a social economic standpoint. So there's very little social competition. Most people hang out in the same place, work in the same place, do the same thing, go to the same schools, hang out in the same bars, go to the same restaurants. It's all fine. Small town. There's not much else to do there anyway. It's the difference between your town having a Walmart or the Walmart. Lovely articles. The characters were fine. I think overall the consistency of the characters existed. They were consistent characters. They all played their part as they were to play their part. It's a redneck comedy. I mean, you've already put nearly the entire cast in one category anyway. So it's just like, can everyone stay redneck? Yes. Did the devil feel like a redneck? No. And I think that was important because he wasn't supposed to be. He was supposed to be the devil. But it did come across kind of goofy. And I like that. Because again, this is a comedy.
For sake of consistency, like I want to say give it a star.
Yeah.
And the evolution of
I can't hold it for this
characters.
It did appropriate for this for this category. It did what it was.
It did fine.
It did fine. Well enough for me not to hold it against them. Like like the difference between this and the writing category is the writing wasn't consistent. The pacing wasn't consistent. The objectives shifted without being super, super clear. And maybe that's just me being picky. But that's the difference between not getting a star on the writing and getting a star on characterization. The characters were fine. They all played their part. That one character annoyed me, but not enough for me to punish the category.
So 2.5 stars?
Yeah. It's a goofy ass comedy that pulled off a goofy ass comedy. The makeup and props was fantastic. The characters were consistent, and I believe that they were small town rednecks, but the writing wasn't there. It wasn't. It's like, how do you judge a horror comedy? It's how funny were the jokes.
How funny were the jokes?
I think that's how you judge a comedy. How funny were the jokes? Not all the jokes landed. The characters were great. Actually, I kind of like the character of Bubba the Redneck Werewolf. I kind of like him. For me and fair. But we're looking at the writing for a comedy is how well did the jokes land. I think the biggest misstep was the Who's on First routine.
Yes.
That was a misstep. Some of the other smaller jokes, while I get them going off topic, because that's how those jokes are designed to do, carried on a few steps too long. Yeah, I would just.
Why is gay? He don't want no woman.
So yeah, like some of the jokes were just there. They just didn't land. They didn't land. Even when you put your brain in redneck joke format.
Right, which I had to, and I didn't like it.
I mean,
I almost married a redneck when I was young, so
I mean,
I know the lifestyle very well.
Let's just say I've dated one or two country girls.
Okay.
I met their Paul.
And that's the end of that, right?
It is the end of that conversation. That is the end of that conversation. Yeah. Shout out Notorious.
Okay. So 2.5 stars.
Bubba the Redneck Werewolf. A lot higher score than I thought we were going to get.
Thanks, Jayson, for recommending this piece of art.
Here's the thing about one thing. This is why I can't even blame Jayson for this one, and then I'll let you close out. One of the things that we've learned when working on film for Hallowed Hills is to draw inspiration from anywhere. I've said it here on the show 1,000 times. We said it in our episode last Friday. You can get inspiration from anywhere. And sometimes even the worst movies can give you inspiration. I could have sworn he was going to give us The Farm to watch. And I kind of want you to go back and watch The Farm. I'll find it and link it for you so you can watch the right one. And I don't know. But listen, that movie, as bad as it was, has been the cornerstone inspiration for everything we worked on since. You can see something like that and see what worked and see what didn't. You can see what you liked and replicate it. You can see what you don't like and improve upon it. And this is what you get from things that may not be your taste. They may not be your genre. They may not be your style, but you can still watch them, enjoy them, and learn something from it. So take that as you go out to your reading groups, to conventions and panels. Maybe it's a panel that you wouldn't otherwise go to. If you seem completely uninterested, maybe avoid it. If you're not really sure, you're just like, I don't know about that. Go sit in it. What's the worst thing you do? You lost an hour. But you learn what you like and what you don't like. You may even encounter something you didn't know you could find interesting. There's a lot of correlation between different genres and different styles. I did a panel last year at Imaginarium called Writing and Wrestling. And the whole point of that panel was to show you how watching wrestling can teach you a whole bunch of things about writing your novel, making your movie, creating your characters. Just things that you see from watching professional wrestling. People who don't like wrestling will not go to such a panel. But then they'll come to you and ask you questions about character development. And who has a better need to develop a character than a person who has to create a character and then literally be said character on TV 2 or 3 times a week with constant evolution of said character over time based on circumstances they have to encounter. Isn't that every sci-fi, horror, fantasy character you've ever read over the course of a series?
Isn't it though?
Isn't it though? So, character development. Pro wrestling's a great place to get those kind of things. And my whole point of that, before we go, is sometimes you got to dip your feet in the pools of water you wouldn't otherwise do so. Boy, that sounded redneck. You have to go watch genres and see things that you wouldn't otherwise watch because you could still learn something from them. So even weird ass movies like Bubba the Redneck Werewolf can teach you something.
Yes. Indeed.
You can learn yourself a thing or two. Didn't you learn yourself something, Sako?
I learned myself so much.
I told you guys I live to like just irk her sometimes, and she's just
I
like,
was this guy.
I love you too, Sako. It's fine.
Busting my chops.
This Friday. This Friday, we have a wonderful guest. Jenny Kiefer is going to be our guest on the show this Friday. She is she's an author. She's also a business owner. She's traditionally published, so we're going to have some questions about traditional publishing and learn from someone who's done the traditional side and where perks are there and what to do if you want to follow that path. Maybe some things she may have wanted to do differently. But like I said, she's also a business owner. She sells books. So, of course, she not only has to pay attention to what people read and what she writes, but what they read so she can sell them your books, those books. So, yeah, you can go ahead and like this video, hit the notification bell so that you know when our next episode comes out. It'll be Friday. I can tell you that now. But just in case you miss it, you could be busy. You're going to want that notification bell on. Subscribe to the channel because you love us. We're dope. You can write in the comments about how much I annoy you. That's perfectly fine. My feelings won't get hurt. And then you can even go to horrorbookstore.com. Has something to do with the show. You can get an idea of the shop that our guest next Friday, or this Friday,
this Friday.
So yeah, all the things. Hit all the buttons, click the things. Look up Bubba the Redneck Werewolf on Tubi because Jesus wept.